Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm Dan Dissinger here in LA, and I'm here with my longtime friend and co-host Manny Coelho. They're in New York. Manny, how are you tonight on this fine evening?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. This is going to be a fun one. Guys, welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast. If this is your first time chiming in, this is a place where Dan and I, longtime friends, Manny and Dan, Dan and Manny, or Danny and Manny. I don't think anyone ever calls you Danny, but we have known each other for over 20 years now, and we put our pop culture past to the test. We either say it's bad or it stays nostalgic, or does it pass the nostalgia test? What does that mean? What that means to us is that it is so good that we still enjoy it today, past just being nostalgic, that we believe that it could be enjoyed by all. Now, we could be wrong. We could be right. I know we're right. That's basically what it is. Why? Because it's our show. And this is what we put to the test. Sometimes Dan and I don't agree. Most of the time, we kind of get there after debating. We want to hear your ideas for any tests that we should be thinking about. Maybe we just aren't even thinking about it anymore because we have so many other tests in our minds, and you bring something up, we'll shout you out on the podcast, or you might even become a guest because we do have listeners, our favorite listeners, become guests. Yes. So maybe yours is so good that we need you to come on and be an expert on that test.
But also, if you like this podcast and you enjoy what you're hearing, subscribe to the podcast. You can go right to the website, nostalgiatest.com, hit subscribe. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to the Nostalgia Test Podcast. Join the email list so you can get alerts when new episodes drop, and when Manny and I are going to go and do another IG Live. We do an IG Live 15-minute Nostalgia Test Podcast episode around basically every 2 weeks. We'll get an alert when we're doing it and what the next topic is.
Today, we are doing something fun. I haven't told Dan what we're doing. This is kind of like a test, kind of like a speed round test, Dan.
Yeah, Manny surprised me with this. He's like, we're doing this. Let's go. And I'm like, all right.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning where I am, so I'm a little nutty. So I was like, hey, let's try this out. I have been a couple of things have been going in my head about what I wanted to test in, but I didn't want it to be like an episode where it had to be, a lot of notes, a lot of facts, just kind of like freestyling, I guess, if you want, quick tests.
Yeah.
Seeing how you feel, how you thought about it. Mm-hmm. So basically what I'm doing is games, either two-player games, could be card games or just board games, things that I remember that I do enjoy with my family now, and other games that I thought I used to enjoy. And whether or not you have played them, or maybe recently, or a while back, but how you feel about them now. So first, right off the bat, I'm going to say, guess who?
Okay. I immediately when you said that, the first thing I wanted to say was like, fuck that game, because it is rigged. That game is rigged because all you have to do is like say the right question about like, do they have blue eyes? I think that's one of them. Like if you ask if it has blue, and if the person does, you just knock down all the brown-eyed people, and guess what?
Which was a lot.
Which was almost all of them. Yeah,
dude, it was a lot of them. The new game. So at the brewery.
Shameless plugs.
This podcast is brought to you by Lethargy Brewing Company, owned and operated by Manny Coelho, one of the co-hosts of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. Find Lethargy Brewing at lethargybrewing.com. It's based out of Long Island, Farmingdale, Main Street, 12 beers on tap, New York wine and spirits as well. Now, what I was going to say, I have that game, a new version of that. Characters look different. And it's the same thing, dude.
Oh, God.
All you have to say is, do you have blue eyes? And if you didn't, then you lasted longer. If you did, the game's over.
The game's over.
The game's over. It's like 3 people had blue eyes.
Why couldn't they just give more characters blue eyes in that game? I just don't understand why they didn't just do that. They didn't
Like,
really.
what did it matter that you had brown hair and blue eyes? Like, they
Yeah.
never had that. It was always like blue eyes and blonde hair,
Yeah.
blue eyes and red hair. It was always like they had to match like the real genetic makeup of a human. Like, it's a character on a card.
Yeah, none of those characters look real. I mean,
No.
like and at the same time, it's just like it was a good idea for a game, but it was just like
For a 5-year-old.
Yeah, after a while, it was just like I have a handful of questions I can ask, and I know which ones to ask. If I get those questions right, then that's it. Game over. I mean, I'm not playing that game ever again. I had it. Terrible game.
I'll tell you. So I have played it at the brewery, and I thought I was gonna like, oh my god, this is so great! It's so great. We played it. I was bored after 2 rounds, and I put it away and put it back.
Yeah, exactly.
So the game. So this is a fast round, like I said in this episode. So to me, game stays nostalgic, not passing on.
Yeah, nostalgic. Yeah. Nostalgic for like 1 second, and then you're just like, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that nostalgia. Move on. Fuck this.
All right. So now I'm going to continue on with this
lightning round.
Because again, these are games that are now mini games that you can get at Staples or stuff that I play at the brewery or I've seen people play.
Yeah.
Battleship.
Now, I haven't played Battleship in a long time, but I'll say if I'm just going off my first like lightning round type like first reaction, I'm gonna say it passes. I think Battleship is a good game. I think it was challenging. Yeah, it's a challenging game, and you had, I don't know if there was strategy, but I mean, I thought it's better than Guess Who, and I think like it passes. Now, if I played it, I might change my mind, but from what I remember, I did have Battleship and I played it a lot.
Okay, so I haven't played it in like 4 years, but I do remember like, like you're like B2.
Yeah.
And then you're like miss, right? And you go. Now, if you're not in a rush and you're just hanging out, I guess if you're drinking beers and stuff, I guess if you're a kid too, but like as a kid nowadays, I feel like if you're not excited in 10 minutes, you're done, right?
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. But like, I think the game does definitely have strategy because like once you start hitting, like there's a boat that has 3, there's a boat that has 6 pegs, there's a boat that has 4 pegs, right? But it could be, you could get bored after you've gotten like 2 of them.
Okay, so here's the thing I have to confess. I had electronic Battleship, not electronic. I had a Battleship
you had that
board that made the sounds.
Holy nostalgia.
So you input it and then you pressed it like B2. You press it, you press enter, and there's like if you got it, if not, it was nothing. So I think it was a lot of really different experience because I had like, a little more, some more bells and whistles to my Battleship.
So that I do remember that. It sounds great. You got some bells and whistles in your Battleship, buddy.
Yeah, some bells, whistles,
Another Hasselhoff hit. Yeah. So I do remember that one, but the one I'm talking about is the one that's just pegs and plastic shit, right? And I was gonna have it where I was gonna send you a Battleship.
Oh my god! Board,
and we could play it through Zoom.
Yeah.
And see how bored we were.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it'd be fun for a first rounder. And it does pass as in like that it does keep you, I guess it's strategic, so it's not bad, but I don't think it passes like no. I'm just gonna say it's nostalgic, but it's not terrible.
Did you ever do that thing like if you played it and you were like, I was sometimes a total asshole and I would just like put all the ships in a corner and just like in like a square.
That's how you end the game.
So
I see what you're saying.
So then, people like, so can't really just all be there. And it's just like the rest of it is just nothingness.
Yeah. I guess like the setup of it would be cool too because you're trying to like fake them out.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I guess it's fun enough game, but I don't think it just passes it totally. And you said it did.
I think it did. Yeah.
All right. Now, another one. And then I'm going off of. I know that there's two games that I've been thinking about. This is now going off some lists that I'm seeing that are like games that are like considered very popular because of like Amazon like trends and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to bring in some like classic games because of obviously this is a nostalgia test. Clue.
Now, I never played. I played Clue, but not that much. I feel like it was a game that was super involved, and so I'm gonna say it doesn't pass because it was one of those games like I put that in the category of like Monopoly, because where I'm just like, this is going on for way too long. I don't know what's happening, and I think my attention span was just not long enough for that game. So I'm saying it's just nostalgic. Love the movie.
I'm going to agree with you because it is a very long game.
Oh, God.
It takes some time, so you'll play one round and be done.
Yeah.
Because if it takes you so long, because if you actually played the full game, like I've played the travel size game where you're on a plane and it's like it's kind of like a card dealing game.
Oh, okay.
And like it goes 10 minutes, like you figure out is this. But when you're having to go in every fucking room,
I don't get it.
Long.
I never understood. I never even understood how it worked. I was
long.
just like, what do you roll a dice? Like, do you just?
Yeah, you have like notes and you're like rolling dice, and then you have to say yes and no, and you figure out which weapons are left and which ones are not, and like who's around and who's not. And yeah.
This is like that. It's a board game, right?
It's a board game. You get bored.
You're fired.
I'm fired.
That's gonna be dude, what the no, I can't. That's too much involved for a board game, especially when you're thinking like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? No. I mean, what's the even age group on that shit? 8 and over? 8, you have to be 8 or above to play Clue.
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy. That doesn't sound like
8 and over. 8 and over. So you said it before. Obviously, this has to be on this list just because Monopoly.
No, I'm saying I don't even like Monopoly anymore. I don't want to ever play Monopoly again. I don't even know. I know it's supposed to. I know it's like a nostalgic item of culture, but I hate it. I'm saying Monopoly's bad because
I say Monopoly's bad. I go with the Dane Cook joke, where it's like everyone in Monopoly after 4 hours of playing. Fuck this game.
Yeah. I played
Grandma.
I think I played that game a few years ago, and I do the ultimate mistake. I just buy everything constantly. As soon as I'm like, am I supposed to do that? And then I lose, and I'm like, I hate this.
I mean, I go back to I think we've talked about this plenty of times. Like I've only played one time where people started buying hotels finally. Other than that, it was like we would play for like 6-7 hours, go to sleep and be like, we'll play in the morning. We never fucking played in the morning.
Yeah, why do I want to play a game where I have to pay income tax? Or luxury tax, like I'm paying tax.
It goes back to the stupid game of life, and that could be on the list too. Like, no.
Life,
I
at least
play
life
the game
had
of life every time I wake up.
But life had an ending. At least it went around the board to something.
Yes,
Monopoly,
it was like Candyland, but like for adults.
Monopoly was constant. It was just like all the way around and around and around, and you're just like, here we go. I'm going. I hated when like I would play with my family. For some reason, my dad, I don't know why he was so good at Monopoly. I don't get it. But he would like own an entire like third.
Like strip.
It was just ridiculous. God. And you're just like, he's like, and every time you'd come around, he's like, you're coming around. Here we go. And he'd like call out the numbers that you'd have to roll to like go like, all right, he's like, you have to roll a 2 or a 6 to make it past this block. And I'm just like, that's not gonna like a 6. It's 2 dice. Oh my god, I hate this. I was like, what? Okay, here we go.
What's the worst is like, I'm like, where did you get all that money? How come you have so much money to buy and I've lost all of it?
No.
Well, that's why I'm in debt. All right. So next, so we say Monopoly no to that game. That game is bad.
No, put that in categories. Blink when you choose. Take your pants off and jacket. And episode.
Wow, hot take by Dan. All right, Mousetrap.
I never played the game. I only put it together.
So guys, if you like Nostalgia Test podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and like.
Follow us on all social media outlets that you can find us and where you can get podcasts: Podbean, Spotify, Apple.
I never played the actual game. I just put it together like, let's just set it off. And I set off the mousetrap. That's it.
I did the same fucking thing. And to me, it was just like playing like stacks of dominoes. Like you just wanted to see the dominoes fall, you know?
I didn't play that game. Who played the game? Who played the game? Because you had to build it as you go. Oh no, you have to build it while you're playing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Just build it. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really get it. It's like, how many times did it set off?
What?
I don't remember that. Like, no, there was I guess right at the end. What was the point of the game? I forget like how the game was. See, that's the thing. I don't remember how the game worked. Yeah. I just remembered like the thing was cool.
Yeah.
But like
I would literally put the thing together.
Oh, it says we work together to build it.
But you're a mouse.
It says we work together to build it. It's not that a 7-year-old can't do it. It's just that it takes two people to figure it out together. So it's a great experience for teamwork. That's what one of the reviews is.
Oh my God. I thought no. This game was just a toy and then they put it on the board.
It says the game gets everybody involved laughing together, which is my favorite. Yeah, because you got to get everybody to put it together. So you basically just you're following directions to put something together and then watch the thing do its thing.
That's it.
And you're like, I'll do it again. And then you're like,
why?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a game involved here. Fuck this. No, I never played it. I mean, it's hard to say whether it passes the nostalgia test. I guess it's nostalgic because I had it and I never played it, so I thought it was funny. But like, I guess it's nostalgic to me for that reason because like I just never played the actual game.
Got it. Okay. Coming to the end here, Dan.
Hit me.
All right. Coming to the end. Chutes and ladders.
Oh my God, dude. This game bothered the fuck out of me. It's like the worst game on the planet. I would say it's nostalgic though. And this is, I'm saying it's nostalgic, but I hated it with all of my being. Because every time I got to the top of something, I just whoa, down the chute. Just like, man, I like hate this game. Like,
all it was is rolling of dice, right? That's it.
Yeah, it's just rolling dice. There was nothing there.
No. There was no strategy other than rolling dice.
That's it.
You had to go up ladders and then down chutes.
Yeah.
And the chutes were like your reset.
Yeah. I mean, you just had to get to the end.
Okay. I mean, this list could go on, but we're coming to an end. I'm trying to keep this 30 minutes. Sorry.
Dude, do people play these games? Because like I'm sitting here thinking like I played them, but I'm like I don't remember playing Sorry that much. I knew like it was a thing. Like it looked like I played like Parcheesi. Like I don't know like that game. It's like who played Parcheesi? Or this game like you ever seen play this game with like the black and white on one side of this?
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck is that game? Othello?
But
yeah,
Sorry,
I never knew how to play it.
Yeah, it's weird. You got to put well, anyway. Sorry, I don't know if I played it.
Isn't that the one with the dice in the middle and you hit the button?
No, that was Trouble.
That was Trouble.
So
basically, Sorry and Trouble to me were the same game.
I thought they were too.
They're basically the same game.
But they're not.
They're terrible games.
Yeah.
You're just going like this.
Yeah. The same thing like Candyland. Like, you just like flip a card. It's like go to the blue square. Okay. Nothing happened.
All right. 3 more for real. Ants in your pants.
I never played it.
Ridiculous.
I never played it. Like what was
it? You had like these plastic, so it's pants, plastic pants. It was really just a jar.
There was a company that made this shit. Remember the one with like the caterpillar? There was something you put together a fucking caterpillar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So it was, plastic pants that you spilled out ants, plastic ants.
Yeah.
That jumped. Like you pressed on it, and it was like strong enough that it sprung, and you'd try to get them. So basically, it was quarters for kids.
It was quarters, you're right.
It was quarters for kids.
Oh my God. That sounds crazy.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And you were just trying to get them all in the pants. I guess
these are all you're right. I think these are all
they're all drinking games. Or we turn them into drinking games, or was they drinking games that we turned into kids games? They're probably kids games that got turned into drinking games. All right.
God, ants in your pants.
Jenga.
Jenga, dude. I played Jenga a few times. I think it's a really good game. I like
Great
it.
game.
I want to play more of it, but I don't want to play that big Jenga because I feel like I would get a concussion.
We have big Jenga at the brewery.
That would scare the shit out of me though. Like,
And it gets really high
yeah,
and loud when it falls. And then we now have added dares to it.
but that's
So,
what I mean. Like, you guys are at the brewery, you guys are like, oh, hanging out, and all of a sudden you hear,
Oh yeah, it gets crazy. Like especially on like a Wednesday night when it's a little slow and there's
Oh
only
my
like
God.
5 people there. Like we're not doing it now because of what's going on, but like people get really competitive over it. It's great. So now we started adding things to it. Like,
wow. Yeah,
So-
Jenga's a good game.
yeah,
That's
that definitely passes.
that's a great game. It's just like a simple game. It's not like some bullshit like Mousetrap.
No, that goes on forever.
Yeah.
All right. I know what you're gonna say about this one, and this is the second to last one.
All right.
Hungry, Hungry Hippos.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna say it's nostalgic, but I mean, it's like I had it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a game. It's not a fucking game. Dan. Hungry,
yeah.
Hungry Hippos is
It's
reverse
whoever
crossfire.
But whoever gets the most marbles wins.
All you're doing is hitting a piece of plastic. There's
Yeah, I
no
know.
game. There's no game going on.
You didn't know the strategy?
Nothing happening.
Didn't you shoot the marbles in there? Like if you missed them, there was like a tray next to you. You hit that little thing and it like shot the marbles back onto the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game is
I mean-
stupid.
Did you have it?
Yeah.
You
Probably
didn't-
broke it.
You didn't like.
It's like that other, like, do you remember, did you have the fishing game, the magnet fishing game?
Yes.
Where the fishes go like,
Yes, I
I
did.
mean, that was a cool game. That
Yeah,
was a fun game.
that was fun.
stupid. That was cool.
Yeah,
It was like, that always reminded me of like a carnival game.
yeah. Or
Right.
car rides. I would have to take that in the car.
Yeah. What about the one where it was like marbles that were wet and like you put it on a piece of paper
Oh,
towel?
yeah, yeah.
It was like
They-
a penguin
people
game. It's
sold
so
that
stu-
shit. It's like, dude,
so-
what are you
so
selling?
stupid.
Put that over a cup and get a paper towel and a rubber band and just wet some marbles.
Ridiculous. All right.
What was that? Thin Ice. That was called Thin Ice.
Thin Ice. That's what it was. Thin Ice.
Yeah, yeah. So
There's so many other ones that we could get into, and that would be another fast track game. Like
because I think
Top
we're
Law and
definitely
all
got
that
to
stuff.
get in. I think we have to like even revisit some of these. But
Yeah.
But what's the last one, Manny?
Uno.
You see, I've been waiting for you to say Uno this entire time. I thought you were gonna say it in the beginning. I
couldn't say it in the beginning because
now
this game is one of my favorite games of all times to this day.
wait, but here's the problem. Not the problem with Uno. Uno has like a lot of house rules. Because I play Uno sometimes with people where you can't like just keep doubling down on like the draw fours and people go, well, I got one, then I got, and then you got to add them all up. Some people are like, no, you don't add it up. It's just the last one that's there. It's like, whoa. No, you have to draw 50 cards or whatever it is. Like you have to draw like 20 cards.
So-
like that's what you have to do right now.
So
Like,
I agree
I'm
with
down
you.
with
It's
that
very
shit.
house ruly. It's
Yeah.
very. So that's the Uno reminds me of the game Asshole, the drinking game Asshole,
Which, dude,
which I forget how to play.
Well, one day when we get 10,000 subscribers to the podcast and we can do a live episode, we might have to put that to the test in real
Dude,
time.
I forget how to play that. All the rules. I think
everyone hates that game.
Stephanie knows the rules to that game.
Yeah, shout out. Definitely.
Shout out to Stephanie. But with Uno, you're correct. Like you have to lay out the rules at first
You have to.
because that draw four rule
Mhm.
that you could stack up draw fours.
Yeah.
First of all, is a phenomenal rule.
Yeah.
But it's funny. My family and I play that game all the time.
Mhm.
Like still to this day. We've now even gotten into the other version called Uno Attack. There's a whole other freaking game. It's a machine that you have to hit a button and you can either get
I've
one
heard it.
card or all of them. Okay. So it
Oh my
changes the
God.
whole rules of the game. Okay. But with the doubling down, we used to not play that. Right. And I never played that scoring at the end. Like, if you win, you could like get everybody's cards in the end and like add up to the points and whatever. We
Yeah.
should just go until the last person went. Right. But if you want a game to last forever, that doubling down
Oh yeah.
thing, the game can go on forever.
I love that though. Like because like you'd think you're gonna hit someone with that draw 4. You're like, boom, and then like, oh wow! It's like, oh shit! It's like, oh no! Or like they hit you, like it's like, oh no! Then that person's like, oh, I gotta draw 8, but then they're like, what? Oh,
It's crazy, dude. Uno's by far one of my favorite games.
I think Uno, I want to play. Like I miss playing that. It's funny because I was thinking about the other day. That is a phenomenal game. I love Uno. It passes the test 100%.
Passes the test. The best part of it too is that it's a 2-player to like 10-player game.
Oh yeah,
like you could. It's such a good game. Like I think I have like 4 decks of Uno.
You gotta put them all together.
That's how much I just had. Putting them all together is crazy. That's a crazy thought.
Like that. Oh
like,
man.
You know how many draw 4s you would have if you
amazing. It's a whole hand of draw 4s. It's like, here we go. You can't even psych anyone out. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. All right. So that was a quick one, guys. Thank you for that.
Quick
one.
lightning round.
Yeah, that was a quick one. That was a lightning round nostalgia test. We were just trying something out.
Yeah. And everyone, subscribe to the podcast. Let us know what you think about these games. And also give us a list. Send it a list along to our email, the nostalgiatest@gmail.com, or go on the website, subscribe to the podcast, and send your own list that suggests a test. We would love to hear another list for us to go out there and just like put it down real quick.
Drinking games test.
Oh, dear God.
That's going to be one. All right, man.
All right. Peace.
I'll see you later.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter @NostalgiaTest and on Instagram @TheNostalgiaTest. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.